Hey everyone, this is Cindy from Asian Boss. Well, the whole world is dealing with the pandemic right now. Did you know that there's a border dispute between India and China? It was reported that at least 20 Indian soldiers were killed. There has been tensions between the two countries since they went to war in 1962, but this is the first time things have gotten so violent in over 40 years. We wanted to ask locals in India about what they thought of the incident, and so our Asian Boss reporter hit the streets of Mumbai to find out.
Thank you for taking time for this interview. Have you heard about the recent dispute between China and India?
Yes, I heard.
Yes, recently it's all over the news.
We have a lot of global viewers watching this who might not have any idea about the situation. Could you explain what happened?
So the main incident that has happened is soldiers on both sides have lost their lives over a disputed piece of territory, and the fashion in which it has happened has been very sad, with being beaten up with clubs and with iron rods.
We have been in dispute with China since the 60s, and as we know that there is this unmarked territory. So what India is doing is India is fighting over its border that have been established then, and right now China has been trying to poach in and been trying to exceed their borders. That's the reason why. And as we have these laws of not using no weapons during the war, so our military have been brutally got into this conflict, and they have been fighting unarmed.
The Indian soldiers, Indian army went there without any weapons, and those were like bashed over there. We lost our 20 soldiers. In the meantime, we also lost our lieutenant colonel.
When you first heard about this recent clash, how did you feel at that time?
Now it's time of India to fight back. Yeah. This is now time for each Indian. We will be united and fight back in such a way that we will take revenge for 1962.
Of course, it was a terrible news to hear. Already we are fighting the virus, and people are blaming China for that, and China is again, killing our soldiers and trying to acquire the border during these times. So already they are being blamed for everything, and now they are doing this thing. So they are turning out to be very, negative for all the world.
I felt very bad because that is what I was thinking. It should not escalate. I thought it would rather be to more of words and our diplomats going and their diplomats coming and rather sitting over the table and talking. I never thought it would be such a barbarous decision of their army also stating that we infiltrated their, when we have a lot of proofs that their army were trying to push since a longer time.
All I could think about was the soldiers and their families and how it must feel to lose a son or a husband or a father. But I do think that the general reaction is much more than that. It is kind of drenched in this hyper-patriotic narrative.
As it is in the news, the dispute is mainly about a land which is bordering India and China near Himalaya and Ladakh region.
Yeah.
What is the strategic and political importance of that land?
So it is basically Tibet, which is over there. So we have high grounds over there. So the one who has control of the area gets to look at the other neighboring countries from that high point. Like reaching there and attacking those points is a little difficult, taking into consideration like you can't fly over those areas because of the magnetic fields and stuff. And that's the reason that area is considered to be a little of high priority for both the countries. We've been having it for a long time now, and even Chinese military or the Chinese government has been trying to get hold of that land.
How big of an issue is it in India right now?
It's a very big issue.
Is it?
It's so big that, Corona has become in the background.
Well, it's a huge issue because I think with COVID as well, there was a growing anti-China sentiment. And I'm even seeing, these political posters popping up which kind of say boycott Chinese products, and our state government as well, I think, has cancelled infrastructure projects with a few Chinese firms. So to take those kind of drastic measures, it must be serious, and I think people are really upset, and they are looking at ways on how to boycott these Chinese products.
I seen a couple of people throwing their Chinese television or smashing their Chinese phones, making things and shouting slogans against it and all. I think if we really need to boycott, we also know like 60% of our household items belong to China. So you really cannot start and sit and break everything just to protest against the Chinese.
So for normal Indian citizen like general people, what do they think of China as a country?
So for people who are well educated, they know what China is. But then people who are like less educated or don't have any like proper knowledge about China, for them it is just a country which provides you products at a cheaper rate. That's it. Like if you ask people, like, do you know what happens in China? And they'll have no idea about it. They don't know what kind of democracy. Like it is a communist country, and people have less idea about like what exactly happens over there.
So it's basically a communist country, and individually in China, many people may not have any say or stake, but it is not in their hand. It basically few so-called people and their leaders, they want to do that.
By what media is showing, there has been a lot of heat, that is the global heat that is generated against China because of its notorious activities, of course. People are not bad, but the governor and the governance obviously make difference. Borders obviously create enemies. Actually, personal grudges, there won't be any personal grudges. I'm sure there will be any Chinese brother out there who will be similarly thinking like me, like no personal issues. But there have been these governments and there are some notorious activities by the political parties which don't reside good to be globally under one roof.
This is the first time over 45 years that such a deadly clash has happened between India and China. Do you think there will be more military action happening, or there will be some diplomatic steps taken from both the sides?
See, I can't comment about China, but India cannot afford a war. We have lots and lots of issues. Our economy is also not in a good state. There should be some diplomatic way out of it. Even China at this stage cannot afford war because they have already had lots of deaths. And at this situation, they are also fighting with COVID.
Prime Minister Modi recently said that India wants peace, but if instigated, India at all costs is capable of giving an appropriate response. And after all-party meeting also, he said that the sovereignty of the state is foremost, even though we want friendship. What do you think about this statement?
Strangely, I do agree upon it. It's like somebody who's coming and hitting you again and again, and you're like, even I can hit back. That's essentially what I make sense out of it.
Of course, like we want peace and friendship. I'm not surprised he made that statement because I don't think any country can afford a war, and we see what has happened to war-ravaged countries in the past decade, and especially India, who have come so far, and China as well, who have developed to such an extent. Why get into a war? It makes no sense. It's regrettable that so many lives were lost, but find a solution and ease tensions. In terms of maintaining our sovereignty and our borders, that is again completely understandable because if you concede, it makes you look weak. And no matter the circumstances, I don't think any political leader, either from the government or the opposition, would ever want to be portrayed in that manner.
There might be a lot of Chinese people who are actually watching this interview. Would you like to say something to them?
When I was in university, I did meet Chinese people, and we hosted a person from China at our house as well once. And for me, they just come across as regular people, and we just had regular conversations. It was never drenched in nationalism or loyalty to your country or fighting over a piece of land. So my message to them is, I hope you feel the same way that I do, and it's not worth coming this far as a civilization and then ending up in an endless cycle of war and suffering and destruction. And I hope you feel the same way.
We have people same like you. We have our culture. We respect your culture. You respect our culture. Let's grow together and be globally powerful rather than having wars or any wicked ways to get on top. Let's not cut each other's throat to get food, is what I'm trying to say. And I think if we follow the disciplines over our border issues and our trade issues, then I think we can exchange cultures, and we can set apart and be like powerful Asian countries too.
Hope you found their answers insightful, and we want to thank all the interviewees for sharing their honest opinions. If you have any thoughts you would like to share, leave them in the comments below, or download our free community app, Mogao, where you can discuss more with other members of the Asian Boss community. For more authentic insight into the latest news and social issues from Asia, be sure to subscribe to Asian Boss. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay curious.